Hello, all. Welcome to the Counting Well exam prep live session. Before we start the session, let me motivate you a bit. Always remember that life has two rules. Rule number one, never quit. And rule number two, always remember the rule one. We know that exams are around the corner, and the two most important aspects of successful exam results are nothing but revision and practice. Always remember that practice will not make you perfect but will help you to perform better. Also, planning allows plenty of time for your revision, and so we are here to shoo away your exam fear and help you revise your concepts before it's too late. So, stay tuned to the session and build up the confidence to face your exams. In this session, I will take you through two chapters: Polygons and Quadrilaterals and Practical Geometry. Let us see some basics from the chapter Polygons and Quadrilaterals. Polygons are nothing but closed plane figures made up of only line segments. So here you can see there are some examples given. Polygons can be a triangle, a quadrilateral, a pentagon, a hexagon, a heptagon, etc. The main thing is it should be a plane figure and made up of only line segments. So whenever we are using prefix tri, it stands for the number of sides 3. For quadri, it stands for number of sides 4. For penta, stands for number of sides 5. So a plane figure having 6 sides has prefix hexa. Plane figure having 7 sides has prefix hepta. 8 octa, nona for 9, and deca for 10. So a polygon having 3 sides is nothing but a triangle. A polygon having 4 sides is nothing but a quadrilateral. Having 5 sides is a pentagon. A polygon having 6 sides is hexagon. Whereas for 7 sides it is heptagon. For 8 sides it is octagon. For 9 sides it is nonagon. For 10 sides it is decagon. Here you can see the examples as well. For quadrilateral, we can take a kite. For pentagon, then for hexagon, and so on. Let us see diagonals of polygon. So, a line segment connecting two non-consecutive vertices of a polygon is called the diagonal of a polygon. So, here you can see one hexagon. So, you can see the non-consecutive vertices are E, C, A. Then we have F, D, B. Since E and C are non-consecutive, if we draw a line segment connecting these 2 points, then we get the diagonal of that polygon E, D, C, B, A, F. And the number of diagonals of a polygon with n sides is nothing but n into n minus 3 by 2. So if you substitute n equals to 3, for example, a polygon having 3 sides is triangle. So if you substitute n equals to 3, we'll get 0 here. That means a triangle has no diagonal. Similarly, if you put n equals to 4, which is a quadrilateral. So we have 4 into 4 minus 3, which is 1. 4 into 1 divided by 2. So you have 2. So a quadrilateral has 2 diagonal. So in generalize, we have for n sides n into n minus 3 upon 2. Let us see types of polygons. A polygon can be regular, okay, depending upon the sides and angles. It can be irregular. So if a polygon has all equal sides and all equal angles, then it is regular. If a polygon has unequal sides or unequal angles, then it is irregular. Let us see what are convex polygons and concave polygon. A convex polygon has all the interior angles less than a straight angle. So a straight angle is nothing but angle having measure 180 degree. Let us see what happens in case of concave polygon. It is a polygon with at least one interior angle greater than a straight angle. So one angle should be greater than 180 degree. Okay, you can see here it is obviously greater than 90 degree. Okay. Here you can see one more angle greater than 90 degree. Let us see what are the sum of interior angles of a polygon and sum of exterior angles of a polygon. For example, here we can see the polygon A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Here n equals to 7 because it has 7 sides. A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, F, F, G and G, A. So there are 7 sides. Then if you substitute 7 in the place of n, then you have 7 minus 2 into 180 degrees. So you have 5 into 180 degree equals to 900. So the sum of interior angles of a polygon with n sides is 900. That means if you add the angles, angle A, angle B, angle C, angle G, E, F, G, then you will get the sum as 900 degree. Let us see what is the sum of exterior angles of a polygon. And the sum is always fixed for the exterior angles of a polygon. So here you can see angle 1 is exterior angle for polygon A, B, C, D, E. Similarly for angle 2, 3, 4 and 5. And if you add them, you will always get the sum as 360 degree. So for this polygon also, if you find the exterior angles, then it will be 360 degree as well. Let us see what are the kinds of quadrilaterals. First is trapezium. A quadrilateral with one pair of opposite sides parallel is nothing but trapezium. So a quadrilateral having only one pair of opposite sides. You can see these two lines are parallel and these two are opposite sides as well. That's why it is a trapezium. So what are the properties? Obviously it has one pair of opposite sides parallel, and if one pair is parallel, then opposite one pair sides will be non-parallel. Angles on the same side which joins the parallel sides will be supplementary. Okay, so the angles on the same side which joins the parallel sides. So if you take the sum of these two angles, then the sum will be 180 degree. Okay, let me show you once. Okay, if you take the sum of these two angles, then the sum will be 180 degree. Also, the sum of these two angles will be 180 degree. And if the non-parallel sides of a trapezium are equal, it is called isosceles trapezium. So if you can see here, these are the non-parallel sides. And if you have these two sides equal, then it is nothing but isosceles trapezium. Let us see what is a kite. It has two pairs of adjacent sides equal. So you can see here the adjacent sides are AB and BC and AD, DC. So these are the two pairs of adjacent sides. So let us see what are the properties. It has two distinct pairs of adjacent sides of same length. So here in this case we have AB equal to BC and AD equal to DC. The pair of opposite angles formed by the unequal adjacent sides are equal. So which is the pair of opposite angles formed by unequal adjacent sides? Let me show you that angle pairs. So you can see this is the pair of opposite angles formed by unequal adjacent sides. So angle A will be equal to angle C and angle B will be equal to angle D. Okay. Next we will see parallelogram. A quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel. So you can see there are two pairs of opposite sides, AB, CD and AD, BC. So pair of opposite sides are parallel as well as they are equal. So opposite angles are equal in measure as well. Next, diagonals bisect each other. They divide each other into two equal halves. Okay. This means adjacent sides are supplementary, means you can take the sum of angle A and angle D. It will be 180 degree, or angle D and angle C. Then the sum will be 180 degree, or angle C plus angle B will be 180 degree. Also, the diagonals bisect each other. They divide each other into two equal halves. Let me tell you one more thing about kite. You have to note that the pair of opposite angles formed by unequal adjacent sides. So the unequal adjacent sides are AB, AD, BC and CD. So these two angles will be equal. Note that angle B will not be equal to angle D. Let us move to the next topic, which is parallelogram. You can see parallelogram can be a rhombus, can be a square, or it can be a rectangle. So let us see what is the difference between among these three parallelograms. As these three are parallelograms, opposite pair of sides or opposite sides are equal and parallel. But if the quadrilateral has four equal sides, then it is a rhombus. So a rhombus is nothing but a parallelogram having all sides of equal length. So this side will be equal to this side, will be equal to this side, and this side will be equal to this side. And the diagonals bisecting each other at right angles. And if you draw the diagonal, means line segment joining the non-consecutive vertices, then you will get those line segments will bisect each other at right angles. So the angles formed between those two diagonals will be 90 degrees. Let us see what is a square. A square is a quadrilateral with all sides equal and each interior angle is a right angle. So the difference between or the compulsion in square is that the interior angle, each interior angle should be of measure 90 degree. So that was not compulsory in case of rhombus. So a square is a parallelogram with all sides equal in length, all sides of or all angles with measure 90 degree, and the diagonals should be equal in length. Also, diagonals should bisect each other at 90 degree. Now let us understand whether rhombus can be a square, or every rhombus can be a square, or every square can be a rhombus. You will come to know as we progress in our session. Now let us see about a rectangle. A quadrilateral with each interior angle a right angle is a rectangle. But what is the basic compulsion in rectangle and what is the basic compulsion in a square? So let us understand this. Opposite sides are parallel and equal. So this is the condition for parallelogram. Then all angles measures 90. Same was in the case of square also. Now diagonals are equal in length. So yes, diagonals equal in length. And the diagonals will bisect each other at the point of intersection. Okay, there is not a compulsion that diagonals are bisecting each other at 90 degree. They only bisect each other and there will be some point of intersection. And here only opposite sides, if only opposite sides are equal, then we can call it as a rectangle. There is no compulsion that all sides should be equal. Let us see some interrelationships among quadrilaterals. As I said, let us see whether a rhombus can be a square and so on. So let us see a square, whether it is a trapezium. Yes, a square can be called as a trapezium. A square can be called as a kite. A square can be called as a rectangle. A square can be called as a rhombus. You can apply the properties and check for the properties of square. Again, a rhombus can be a trapezium. A rhombus can be a kite. Okay. Or a rectangle is also a trapezium. But a rectangle cannot be a kite. A rectangle cannot be a rhombus. Let us see some basics from the chapter Practical Geometry. So, constructions and instruments needed. So, for practical geometry, the important things are how you construct the figures or geometrical figures using the instruments. Okay, the instruments you should be proper. You can use rule, compass, protractor. Let us see how to construct a quadrilateral when four sides and a diagonal are given. So to construct a quadrilateral when four sides and diagonal are given, first of all you have to construct a triangle as with three sides given. So here you will take AB equal to 2, BC equal to 3 and AC equals to 4. Because here you can see you will have ABC triangle and it is easy to construct triangle ABC. So AB is taken as 2 centimeter, BC is taken as 3 and AC is taken as 4 centimeter. Next, what we will do, we will construct two more sides. Okay, so this will be AD equal to 3.8, CD equal to 2.5. So we can see CD 2.5, AD equal to 3.8. Note that AC is nothing but the diagonal. Here you can see AC. AC equals to 4 centimeters, nothing but the diagonal. So we have ABCD as a required quadrilateral. So whenever four sides and a diagonal are given, construct a triangle and one side of the triangle will become the diagonal of that required quadrilateral, and then we draw the other two sides taking the measures of other two sides of that quadrilateral. Let us see when three sides and two diagonals are given. To construct a quadrilateral when three sides and two diagonals are given, first we start with diagonal AC. And the most important thing whenever you are constructing any quadrilateral is you should always draw a rough figure and understand which figure to draw first or which side to draw first. So here we are taking AC equal to 4 centimeter. Note that we are constructing a quadrilateral ABCD. So AC will be the diagonal as it is connecting the opposite vertices of the quadrilateral. So AC is 4 centimeter. Then next you have to construct triangle ABC. So you can take an arc from A and take an arc from point C, taking the measures 2.7 centimeter and 3.1 centimeter respectively, and draw the triangle ABC. Next, with BC as the base. So you can see BC is taken as base, and then we have constructed triangle BDC. You can see BDC with BD equal to 3.5 centimeter and CD equal to 2 centimeter. Then we join A and D. So at last we are joining A and D. So ABCD is the required quadrilateral. So whenever three sides and two diagonals are given, always start with the diagonal. Identify the diagonal by taking the non-consecutive vertices. So here non-consecutives are AC. So the segment joining them, the measure given is 4 centimeter. Then draw the triangle ABC. Then taking BC as the base, construct angle BDC. So you have to construct angle BDC, and then you have to join A and D. Let us see next construction of quadrilateral with two adjacent sides and three angles. For that, you can see there are two adjacent sides given, FG and GH. Adjacent sides because you can see here the vertex G is common. Then the angle F, angle G and angle H are given. That is three angles. First of all, start with one of the adjacent sides. Then we draw angle F 90 degree and angle G 85 because we have either vertices F and G and the measures, respective measures are given. So we'll draw the angles. And then with G as a center and radius of 2.9 centimeter, we will draw an arc cutting off that line at H because we are going to draw EFGH. And then we draw angle GHH, GHJ, GHZ equals to 60 degree, which is the angle H because angle H is also given. And this will intersect the line XF at E. So we have the required quadrilateral. Next, let us see when three sides and two included angles are given. In that case, we will take one side. For here we are taking BC equal to 3 centimeter, which is the greatest side. And then you can find the measures of B and angle C is given. So we will take that measure. And then we have AB equal to 2.4. So we'll take the distance 2.4 and mark the radius. And here we have 2.5. So at last we will join A and D, and hence we will get the required quadrilateral ABCD. Let us see our next construction. When four sides and an angle are given, so here four sides AB, BC, CD and AD. All the four sides are given and one angle is given. We will start with any of the sides AB or CD because both are 3 centimeter. So we'll start with AB. Since the measure of A is given, we will mark the angle 70 degree. Then we'll take the radius 2 centimeter and mark the point D. Then with A as the center and radius 2, we'll mark the point D. After that, since CD is 3 centimeter and BC is also 2.5 centimeter, then we will mark the respective arcs using the given measures. So using D, you will mark a radius of 3 centimeter, and with B as a center, we'll draw the radius of 2.5 centimeter. We'll cut the arc. So we have now got all the four sides of the quadrilateral, and hence ABCD is the required quadrilateral. Next, let us see construction of some special quadrilaterals, like construction of a parallelogram. When the two adjacent sides are given and the diagonal are given, we determine the length of the other two sides using the properties of parallelogram, because the other two sides can be found. Two adjacent sides means we can find the other two sides by taking the opposite sides equal. Follow the steps of constructing quadrilateral when four sides and a diagonal are given. So you should not think that incomplete information is given for the construction, because here you have to apply the property of parallelogram. And what if the adjacent sides and the angle between them are given? You have to calculate the measures of other three angles using properties, because opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. You can take those measures as equal, and then you can follow the steps of constructing a quadrilateral when two adjacent sides and three angles are given. Now let us see constructing a parallelogram when a side and two diagonals are given. So when a side is given and two diagonals are given, you can find its opposite side also. So if AB is 2 centimeter and AC is 2.4 centimeter and BD equals to 3 centimeter, we will construct the triangle formed by the given side and half the length of the diagonals given. So let us take one side AB, and now we'll take half the length of diagonals. What will be the diagonals? Diagonals will be AC and BD. Okay. Because these are non-consecutive vertices. So AC is 2.4. So here we are taking 1.2 centimeter, which is half of 2.4. And here we have 3 centimeters. So we'll take half of it, which is 1.5. Next, we will extend the diagonals. Okay. After extending, we will cut off the remaining half of each diagonal. So here we'll take remaining half, which is 1.5, and here we'll take 1.2. So in this case, we will join the vertices, and so ABCD is a required parallelogram. Next, how to construct when lengths of diagonals and angle between them are given. In that case, first you have to draw one of the diagonal and construct its bisector. Bisector is nothing but a line segment joining the diagonal into two halves or into two equal parts. So you can see you have AC equal to 4 centimeter, and then you will bisect it. So AO and OC will be 2 centimeter each. Next, we construct the angle between the diagonals at the midpoint, which is O, and extend the arms of this angle. So here you can see the angle between them is 60 degrees. So you will take the measure 60 degrees as shown here. And then we'll cut off the length equal to half of the other diagonal on each side of this arm and join the vertices. So here we can cut off the arc of the same length as we have AO and OC. Here we cut off and we'll join the respective vertices. So we'll get the required parallelogram. Next, let us see how to construct a rectangle when length of the adjacent sides are given. If length of adjacent sides are given, we can find the length of the other two sides by taking the opposite sides equal. So we should know that for given sides, the angle between them or the angle between the adjacent sides is 90 degree for rectangle. So we'll take AB equal to 2 centimeter, and then we'll cut off the length equal to the other side given on the arms. So if you want to construct adjacent sides with 2 centimeter and 3 centimeter, this is how we will construct a rectangle. Next, let us see how to construct a square with length of each side given. If the length of side given for a square is 2 centimeter, first of all, you will draw one of the sides as 2 centimeter. Then you will construct angles of measure 90 degree each for both the vertices. And then you will cut off the radius of 2 centimeter for both the arms. And then you will join the respective vertices. So ABCD is a square with 2 centimeter side each. Let us see how to construct a square when the length of the diagonal is given. So to construct a square when the length of a diagonal is given, remember that diagonals of a square are equal and perpendicularly bisect each other. So you have to draw one of the diagonals and construct its perpendicular bisector. So one of the diagonal means, non-consecutive vertices, that will be ABCD. For the square ABCD, you will have AC as a diagonal. Next, we will, on each side of perpendicular bisector, we cut off a length equal to half the length of the diagonal. So here we have cut off half the length of the diagonal. Then we join the vertices to get the required square. So we have the square here ABCD. Let us see how to construct a rhombus when side and the diagonal are given. So first of all, we construct a triangle with a diagonal. So here the diagonal is taken as AC 4 centimeter, and then we draw the two adjacent sides of rhombus 2 centimeter each. Then we construct other triangle with diagonal as base. So here the base is taken as AC, and the length of other two sides also taken as 2 centimeter each. So while constructing a rhombus, when the lengths of diagonals are given, you have to draw one of the diagonals and take the perpendicular bisector and cut off the length equal to half the length of other diagonal and join the vertices to get the required rhombus. For constructing a rhombus, when the length of the sides and an angle are given, then you have to determine the measure of remaining angles using angle property of rhombus. So opposite angles will be equal. Also, then you will follow the steps of constructing a quadrilateral when two sides and three angles are given. Let us see some tricks for the exams. The sum of exterior angles of a polygon is always 360. So don't get confused between 180 and 360. Irrespective of how many sides a polygon has, the sum of the exterior angles will always be 360 degrees. Now, to find the missing angles in parallelogram, you have to remember these properties. Also, for a rhombus and in parallelogram, pair of opposite angles are equal and pair of adjacent angles are supplementary. Okay. So use the properties to find the measures of unknown angles in parallelogram or rhombus. And in case of square and rectangle, no need to find the interior angles. They're always of measure 90 degree. Let us see some interrelationship between quadrilaterals. Whether we can call a trapezium a parallelogram, or every parallelogram can be a trapezium or not. So different quadrilaterals can have same properties or few properties in common. So based on the common properties, we can identify the interrelationship between them. For example, a parallelogram is also a trapezium, but a trapezium cannot be always a parallelogram. Okay. Why this is so? Because in trapezium, what happens? We have opposite pairs of sides parallel. So a trapezium cannot be a parallelogram because we are not sure for the next or the other pair of sides. They are not parallel. But a parallelogram can be a trapezium when the one pair of sides are not parallel. Next, a rectangle and a square both have opposite sides equal and all angles are 90 degree. So we can say that a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle cannot be always a square. So a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square as its sides are not equal. Because in square what happens? All sides are equal. But in rectangle, only opposite sides are equal. Then a square is also a rhombus as its all sides are equal and opposite angles are equal. So a square can be called as a rhombus, but every rhombus cannot be a square. Because in rhombus, we need not have each angle of measure 90 degree. And we cannot call every rhombus as a rectangle. A rectangle is not a rhombus as its sides are not equal. Next, let us see about regular and irregular polygons. To be a regular polygon, not only all sides but all angles also should be equal. So if a square is a regular polygon, rhombus is not a regular polygon because for a rhombus it's not compulsory that all angles are equal. Let us see some tricks for practical geometry. You should always use a sharp pencil for the construction because this will take you to accurate figures. So always use a sharp one as shown here instead of the blunt. Also make sure your ruler has clean and smooth edges. Many times the ruler you are using is not proper. Do not use a ruler with uneven edges. You will not be able to draw lines correctly. The lines will be crooked. Ensure your ruler and protector have clear markings. And you should not use ruler or protector with faded markings. This will not give you accurate measures. Let us see one more trick. You have to always use a tight compass with a sharp pointer. The compass should have a sharp pointer as shown here and the hinge should be tight. So you have to make sure that it is tight enough for accurate measurement. The compass pointer and the pencil tip should be at the same level. So whenever you are using a compass, you have to make sure that the level of the pencil tip and the compass pointer should be the same. Next, placing the pointer of the compass. While using the compass, make sure you are placing the pointer of the compass on the correct point. So you should not hold the arms of the compass while drawing an arc. You should also avoid that and hold it on the hinge. So you have to hold it here, not on the arms of the compass. Hold the end of the compass tightly while drawing an arc or circle. So this should not move from this point. Also, measure the required length using the ruler. So while measuring length using the ruler, you can place the 0 mark at one and the end point at the end point, one at the end point, and measure the other end. So to measure AB, you have to place the 0 mark of the ruler at the starting point or the point A, and then you have to measure the length of line segment AB. So here it is 4 centimeter. Also draw a rough sketch of the quadrilateral to be constructed because this will give you clear idea of the accurate construction. You can mark the vertices, sides and angles according to the question and then make the actual construction. Always name the quadrilateral correctly. So if you are asked to construct a quadrilateral ABCD, make sure they are in the cyclic order. Like after A, B should come, then after B, the vertex C should come, and then after C, the vertex D should come. Next, let us see what are the points to remember while you are constructing a quadrilateral. Always begin by constructing the known side and then angles or diagonals. So it is very important to start the construction using the known side and then you should go for the angles and diagonals. Always constructing parallelogram, you have to take care that the measurements should be found using the properties of respective parallelogram in case when the angles are missing or when the lengths of the sides are missing. Let us see what are some common mistakes that students do. Finding the exterior angle of a polygon. Always remember the sum of all the exterior angles of a polygon is 180 degree. And if you want to find any missing exterior angle, then you have to subtract the sum of the remaining angles from 360. So here you can see the exterior angles have measures 93 degree, 46 degree, 3x degree, 62 degree, 4x degree, and 47 degree. And if you want to find the two angles 3x and 4x, the goal should be to find the unknown variable here x. For that, what you will do, you will add these measures and take it equal to 360 degree. As 3x and 4x are the like terms, they will give you the sum 7x. So here the unknown x can be found by subtracting the sum from the remaining or subtract the sum of the remaining angles from 360. So in this case, you will find the value of x and then substituting the value of x, you can find 3x and 4x. So here you can see you are adding the measures and take it equal to 360 degree. So you have 7x degree plus 240 degree equal to 360 degree. Taking the transpose on the LHS, will get x degree equals to 112 degree divided by 7, which is 16 degree. So you have the value of x as 16. So 3x will be 3 into 16, which is 48, and 4x equals to 4 into 16, which is 64. Next, let us find the interior angles of a regular polygon. The confusion here, what students do, let us see. So we use the formula n minus 2 into 180, where n is the number of sides of the polygon. Remember to multiply the difference n minus 2 with 180. So here you can see n minus 2 into 180, where n is the number of sides of polygon. In second case, the student has missed the bracket sign here. So he has done n minus 2 into 180 degree. That means if we substitute the value of n and he is subtracting 2 into 180 degree, which is 360 degree from n, which is a wrong way of calculating the interior angle of a regular polygon. Always make sure you have taken n minus 2 inside the bracket and then multiplied it with 180 degree. So you have to find the value of n minus 2 first by substituting n, and then you have to multiply it by 180 degree. Now to find missing angles in a parallelogram, remember that pair of opposite angles are equal and pair of adjacent sides are supplementary. So using the above properties, you can find the unknown angles in a parallelogram or rhombus. Also, don't get confused for the angles of square and rectangle. So the interior angles of square and rectangle are always of measure 90 degree. So don't make mistake by taking the question as incomplete and leaving it as it is, because there is no point in giving the interior angles of square or rectangle. Let us see interrelationship between quadrilaterals. So always remember a parallelogram is also a trapezium, but a trapezium may not be always a parallelogram. Also, a square can also be a rectangle, but a rectangle cannot be a square always. Also, a rectangle cannot be a rhombus as all its sides are not equal. While constructing a quadrilateral, we need to know the measure of minimum of 5 elements. How many elements? 5 elements. Remember that the conditions wherein we construct a quadrilateral. So the conditions, if you have 4 sides are diagonal, that means the measures of 5 elements are known here. Also in case of second topic or second point, we have 4 sides, 1 angle, again 5 elements. 3 sides, 2 diagonals, again 5 elements. 3 sides and 2 included angles, so we have 5 elements here. 2 adjacent sides and 3 angles, we have 5 elements. Let us see some conditions wherein we cannot construct a quadrilateral. When only 4 sides are given and we don't have any knowledge about the angles. So exception here is a square. A square is also a quadrilateral and we know the measure of each angle is 90 degree. But if we are asked to find a quadrilateral where the measure of angles should be given, in that case we cannot find if only the 4 sides are given. And if only 3 sides and no included angles are given, then also we cannot construct that quadrilateral. And if 3 sides, 1 angle and 1 diagonal are given, then also we are not able to construct a quadrilateral. Drawing the rough sketch of the required quadrilateral. Let us see what mistake a student can do. So to construct a quadrilateral PQRS with sides PQ, QR and PS and the 2 angles are given, a student must always draw a rough figure of the required quadrilateral. This will help you to understand how to construct the given quadrilateral. You should remember to mark the corresponding measures given correctly in the rough figure. So here you can see what a student has done. He has taken PQ equal to 3.5 instead of 3 centimeter. And he has taken QR equal to 3 centimeters. So he has taken these two length by interchanging them. So this is not the correct way. You should always mark the name of the quadrilateral correctly. Also, while constructing a parallelogram, you will find that the measure of each adjacent sides is given and angle between them is given. Do not mistake it for insufficient information, because if one angle is given, then you can find its opposite angle by taking it equal to that given angle, and the remaining other 2 angles can be found by applying the property of parallelogram that the adjacent angles are supplementary. So you have to remember the properties of parallelogram properly. So when adjacent sides are given, you can find the corresponding opposite sides as equal to them. And angle between the two sides are given. This means opposite angles of equal measure, and adjacent angle will be 180 minus that given angle. So if you have to construct a parallelogram DFGH with FG equal to 3 centimeter, GH equal to 3.5 centimeter, these are the two sides, and angle G and angle D is equal to 120 degree. Then we know this adjacent sides are given. So FGGH, note that G is a common vertex. So these are the adjacent sides. Also sides opposite to these sides will be of equal measure. So we have GH equal to DF equal to 3.5 centimeter and FG equal to DH equal to 3 centimeter. Next, angle G is 120 degrees. So its opposite angle will also be of measure 180 degree. Or we can take the sum of adjacent angles equal to 180 degree. So we'll find F using this property. Now that we have four sides and two angles, with this we can construct the parallelogram. So here you can see the construction. Let us see some exam tips for these two chapters. Practice a variety of questions from NCERT textbooks, exemplar other textbooks, and from previous year question papers, and be thorough with the chapter. Next, you should note down all the definitions and properties separately. You should always avoid calculation mistakes while you are calculating the measures of angles or lengths of the sides of quadrilateral. Make sure you always draw a rough figure to represent the question. This will help you to identify which property to apply where, and always express your answer in the correct unit. So if the sides are given in centimeter, represent the side in the figure with the same unit, that is centimeter. Do not write meter or meter square and so on. Also, while you are solving word problem, make sure what is given in the question. So you should write it down as what is given in the question, what you have to find, etc. This will help to identify which property you should apply to find the unknown angle or side. Next, you have to read the question carefully and understand it. Make sure you are writing the correct question number, because many times what happens, suppose if the length of the sides given for a quadrilateral are same, or if the name of the quadrilaterals for the two questions one below the other are same, then you can mistakenly take the question number 1 as 2 or question number 2 as 1. So you have to take care while writing the question number. And also when you are drawing geometrical figures, make sure you have sharp pencil and just keep 2 to 3 pencils with you. Ensure all the geometrical instruments are working accurate and fine. Especially in case of compass and protractor, you have to make sure you're using non-defective instruments. And always draw a rough sketch of the quadrilateral you have to construct. Also, you have to name the figures correctly according to the question. Otherwise, your whole construction will go waste and you will not score anything in that case. You should always check if you have answered all the questions and parts of the questions with correct question number. I hope this session was helpful, and if you want to quickly revise the concepts, practice some extra sums, and also take a quick test, then Counting Well exam prep kit is here. It will help you quickly glance to the major concepts of your chapter. You can also glance to the solved examples, practice questions, and chapter assessments. You will also understand the tips and tricks, common errors that you make, etc. Over 75,000 students trust Counting Well for their maths learning. And even without the exam prep kit, they can learn every day on the app by diving deep into every chapter. You can download the app from the App Store or Play Store. Also, stay connected to our channel Counting Well and learn more tricks and tips and ways to avoid the common mistakes. We will be revising the chapters Exponents and Powers, visualizing solid shapes from class 8 in our next live session tomorrow, that is on 8 February at 6:30 p.m. Until then, see you in the next session. Keep learning, keep growing. Thank you.